Hi, how are you today? Wanted to share some practical things that I did to get through my grieving process. I would say the first 3 months were absolutely intense. Everyone is different, so I want to just preface that. The timeline I think can vary greatly. I believe my loss was catastrophic. It was so huge. I will explain more, in different videos. But to me, it was the most devastating loss. To me, she was a family member and one of the most closest family members ever. But I'm also a fast learner, so because of my career, my life, all the things I did daily to, in my day-to-day life, I tend to be a quick learner. And so, I do feel like things have improved a little bit for me, which is great. It was difficult to even get through one moment to the next for a long time. It was intense. So before I get off on too many tangents, I do want to give you some practical tips. And I really want to warn you also that everyone's different with grief and with like mental stress, with emotional pain. It's very, very depends upon the person. And even for the one person, it depends on the moment. So some moments I feel well enough to handle certain, heavy issues. And at other moments, I can't handle it at all. And it might change literally just momentarily from one second to the next. And so if any of these things that I did that I'm suggesting for you, they don't sound good, they sound too scary or too stressful or unpleasant, then simply skip it. I don't think it's the one for you. But you might find out later on when you're at a different stage in your healing process, and even at a different time of the day, that you might feel like it might be helpful. There are many places Azura and I used to go together. I took her everywhere with me, and there's probably still half of the places we used to go that I'm not ready to go to them yet. But about half of them I have gone to, and some of them have been very challenging. I really had to kind of get up the courage to go there and to face it. And most of the time when I've gone there, it wasn't so bad after all. It wasn't so scary. And it brought back memories, and, it's okay to cry. It's okay if the memories are painful. But most of the time they were memories that I was grateful for, So it depends on what stage you're in. During the first several weeks, the very, very beginning, I had all the memories. All the memories were vivid. And so reliving them sometimes was too much. I hope that makes sense. But now my memories are fading much more. And so reliving some of the memories, they're actually a comfort. You see how things change. I'm just going to rattle them down. One of the things I did a lot, which I'm pretty sure it's not for everyone, it's for a very small population, is I went through all of Azura's videos. I went through all of her videos, all of her photos. I just missed her so much. I just kept watching them over and over again. And especially, I made sure that they were backed up. You know how you make sure all your stuff is on a cloud, or all of your files are on a hard drive, somewhere. So I lost my baby. I wasn't about to lose more, you know what I mean? I didn't want to lose any of these precious videos and pictures. And so I made sure every single one was backed up in at least one extra way, maybe two extra ways. So I transferred everything onto my external hard drive, and I have a few really important things on another external hard drive, and then I have some things on my Google Drive. And so I couldn't rest until I made sure everything was safe, especially from my phone. The last 3 months. They were so hectic. There was no way. I already backed those up. So first I started with my phone, made sure all the, phone pictures and videos were saved. And then I went through and I made sure every single thing I had of her was saved, on a backup, way. And then the one that took forever was all my security camera footage. I realized a few days afterwards, after Azura passed away, that my security cameras, they had like a backlog. So in some cases I could go back 2 weeks and the files were still there. And so I was very grateful for that. So I have 3 security cameras that, point to some of the more, busy traffic areas in my home. So I went through every single one and I saved every single one that was relevant. If it was just like a short, file of like nobody home and the, winds are blowing outside or something, I didn't save those. So I had to go through every single one and save them individually. It took a long time. It took I feel like it took 6 weeks. It took a really, really long time. No, maybe 4 weeks. I don't remember. It took a very long time. And some of the footage was very painful because Azura was very sick in the end. And so I just saw the beginning of it and then I couldn't watch it. I just quickly, saved it and backed them up. So that was a huge project, but I was actually grateful for it because I would wake up in the morning and I wouldn't even know what to do with myself. I had no idea how I should spend my time. The only thing I had was work. And, except for like one day here or half a day there, one day here, right? I went to work. I kept up with my work schedule. And so if I wasn't working, I had all this free time that I didn't know what to do with because I had given it all to Azura and suddenly she was gone. So I, spent a lot of time I would just wake up, maybe get myself ready a little bit, go sit in the living room in front of my laptop and just start working. And I would do, like a couple hours of it. Then I'd want to rest my eyes. And so, when my laptop battery started to dwindle down, that was my reminder to get up, stretch, maybe go for a walk, do something different, because sitting down to that type of work is very tiring. And I was grateful for that too. I wanted to tire myself out. And it's not good for your eyes. It's not good for your body to sit like that. So, you want to take good care of yourself as much as you're able to when you're in that really, really, intense period of grieving. So I would do that every day and sometimes more than once a day throughout the day. And I think it was really good for me, but it was very difficult. I don't recommend it to most people. Okay, so saving files, backing up files, there's one of them. If you have a security camera, I highly recommend you go and at least pull off a couple of important moments. I think you'll be glad that you had them later, maybe. I keep wishing I had even more videos, especially videos, but also pictures than I have. And I have a lot, let me tell you, I have a lot. What else did I do? I went for walks. It's easy for me. I just walk out of my building and there's a really beautiful area for me to walk. But other than that, I didn't really go to any of the outdoor places that I took Azura to because I just wasn't ready for it. But walking around my area was okay. I missed her a lot, but it made me feel closer to her. And there were many times that I just felt so much turmoil that I felt like I was going to jump out of my skin. So anytime I didn't know what to do, I would put my shoes on and go out for a walk and have a good cry. And I always had to have my hat to, cover or wear sunglasses or something. And then have my handkerchief, with me. And so that's a really helpful thing. Just walk. Whenever you don't know what to do with yourself and the grief is overwhelming, you feel like you're drowning, just maybe go for a walk. I didn't have much of an appetite, so I couldn't really do much. I didn't have any motivation to clean. I didn't, feel like doing that. So what else could I do? I just felt like I was about to explode. There was just so much inside, and I just had to process it. So I did meet up with some good and trusted and caring, gentle friends. Had lunch here and there. I got on the phone a lot with them. Also, so meet up with some trusted friends and family, have lunch together. It helped me to eat, so I didn't have to eat by myself, or I wouldn't just skip a meal, you know what I mean? And also, or if you don't feel like it, then have somebody come and bring food and eat it together, at home. Also, I printed a lot of Azura's photos along with my, loved ones, like family, friends. I went to the print shop here in downtown. There's a great camera shop we have here. So that was like my weekly thing. Once a week I would go down and I would print more photos and I would put them up, I bought some beautiful frames. It was something I actually wanted to do, you know what I mean? So I would go shopping and I would pick out some really beautiful frames that I loved. You don't have to spend a lot of money, just really, really, enjoy it and do it. You can even just print some at home. That's what I did. I printed some of them on photo paper at home. If you're on a budget, you can print some fancy ones. I plan to print a big canvas one of these days, but I did do some larger ones on art paper. It was gorgeously done. I started working on some memorial books, like photo books and things. So I went on Shutterfly. My good friend gave me that idea, and it was totally not on my radar, so I'm very grateful for that. So I went on Shutterfly and I started to create a bunch of books. Like I have I think 4 or 5 books in the making. I bought one. That's the one that's on my channel. It's right here. So please check that one out. I did finish that book and I ordered it and I shared it here on my channel. It's in 2 videos, part 1 and part 2. And I'm still working on a few of them. This was my test copy and I haven't ordered any more after that, but they have different themes. Like I have one that's going to be like funny and goofy, another one that has like a lot of friends and family in it, maybe one that's just about, her and me or something. So I have plans, but putting those books together, wow, they were very therapeutic for me. It was really important for me to create some sort of a tribute, and I still haven't done it. I haven't done a real tribute and memorialization, of Azura yet. I just don't feel ready to do it. When you see someone's monument in the cemetery and has their birth date and death date, I'm not ready even to do that yet. So it just goes to show that, right now it is, I counted, I think it's 21 weeks since Azura passed away. It's about 5 months. And so 5 months later, I'm still feel like a percentage of my heart hasn't accepted her death. I just feel like it's so final and I just can't accept it yet. But then the other percentage of the time, it's a majority of the time, then I do feel more at peace and I do feel like I can, accept it. That's still in the works. I still want to create a few more photo books. I still want to create a tribute video where I put in, all my favorite music that's, important and all of the best. I just feel a lot of pressure to pick the best videos for it. I really want it to be special. Okay, so working on Shutterfly books, took a lot of hours and I was very grateful for it. It gave me a task to do, and I could just focus on it for for a few hours. Another thing I did was, this one I really felt like I was about to explode unless I did it, was I bought some necklaces, and it's something that I was looking for years. I would literally take Azura shopping with me. We would go to different jewelry, stores, and I would look for some jewelry that, that she could wear, on her collar or her harness. She didn't really wear a collar. And then after she passed away, I would wear it. I never got to do it, and I really wish I could, because it would mean so much more if I knew she wore it for years and years, and then I wore it. I highly recommend. It's okay, you can steal my idea. I'm pretty sure nobody thinks of this idea, but it's something so beautiful. I wanted to do it, and I didn't. So at least I needed to buy a few keepsake, necklaces. So I ordered one that had her name on it. It was really important for it to say Azura Lee on the pendant, and then I also wanted at least one or two of her photos in it, and I couldn't find the perfect piece that I really loved, so I ordered three. One was a name necklace and two were photo necklaces. And honestly, I wish I could change some of them a little bit. I'm not 100% satisfied, but I was so grateful to receive them. They are beautiful, and I wore them a lot. The only reason I'm not wearing them right now is because it's so hot outside. I don't like to wear jewelry when I'm, like when it's humid and really hot. I get hot very easily. I'm sensitive to heat and humidity. So, I wore them every single day without fail, and I just really, love them. That was important to me. What else? Journaling. I have two journals here. I'll show you them. This one I bought especially. I went to the bookstore, I bought it. It was important for me to just get myself to go out, so even though I have other journals at home in my library, I bought this one specially. I went to the store, I made an event of it, I got myself out. It's good to try to exercise even though you don't want to, and I picked this one out and I filled it about, not quite halfway so far. So so this is my journal for me. It's kind of like a prayer journal, also just like a record keeping journal for me. And then I also had this one. One of my nieces gave it to me a long time ago. It was just a very simple one. And I was talking to my niece, and she told me that, in her, when her dog passed away and got cremated, the cremation, company gave her a journal and a letter where she could write a letter to her dog. And it might seem silly, but that's what I do this for. This is my letter to Azura. And I thought it would be like a one-time letter where I could get things, off my chest, but it ended up becoming like an ongoing thing. So for a long time, it brought me a lot of comfort. And honestly, I haven't written in those two journals in a quite a while now. It's been a long time, like maybe 4 weeks or something, I'm not sure. But in the beginning, I relied upon it heavily because, like I said, I felt like I was about to explode. Now I don't feel so much that way. I don't feel like I'm about to explode. I just really enjoy, I enjoy being out with friends and things, but I also really enjoy my time alone at home. And so as long as I'm alone at home and I'm, can think about my baby and I look at her pictures and I can just, be alone and peaceful, I'm pretty content. Other things that I did, just calling friends. Some friends I've gotten, and family I've gotten a lot closer with, and sometimes I would just be on the phone with them for hours and we would just both go about our business, but we would still be on the phone. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but just knowing that someone's there, I think it's tough when you're single and you lose a pet, especially if it was you're single and you only had one pet. That's tough. Even if you're single and you have multiple pets, one of them passed away, I'm sure it's still tough. When you're in a family situation, you lose a pet, it's difficult for other reasons. Like I really think, each situation is unique, but I do feel especially my heart goes out to the ones in my situation where I'm absolutely alone now. You know, I'm single and I had only one pet, and now she's gone. I think it's tough. One last thing, there's a lot more I'll share with you later, but one last thing, the one that has really helped me in the last about 4 weeks now is I've been watching dog videos on YouTube. It has helped me so much because I think dogs are so amazing. They are truly one of God's precious gifts on earth. And I can't imagine life without a dog in my life now. But I'm not ready for one. I need to heal. I can't imagine having a dog that's not Azura. It just seems like absolutely like against nature for me to have a dog that's not Azura. But I imagine one day when I'm healed and I'm strong enough, then I can maybe think about getting another dog. I would love to get several dogs and save them, you know, from being euthanized or, you know, being the unwanted one at the shelter. That's my plan. I'm not going to get a dog from a breeder anymore. I just want to save one. That's just my personal choice, and I would prefer to have at least 2 dogs, you know, but the part that really scares me is the health side of it, you know. So I have so much to say about that. I'll make separate videos for that. But this is my way of watching this beautiful, there's this one channel I've been watching like for hours and hours. I'm literally binge watching it, but I don't mind. It's just a phase, you know. These days I haven't been taking good care of my health regarding food. I'm just eating rubbish, you know, whatever. Of course I still eat healthy here and there, but according to my standard, which I have a pretty high standard with food, I've been eating a lot of rubbish, but I don't care. It's just for a season. It helps me get through the day, you know, so I'm just relaxing. I'm not putting pressure on myself. I'm just eating whatever I can, or if I feel any kind of strength, I do cook a tiny bit, you know, in my kitchen. If not, I'll just go get something that's simple, or I'll just eat out a little bit. I do try to keep it as little as possible, but I'm not putting pressure on myself. So, you know, be gentle with yourself. Just allow yourself a little bit of, you know, leniency. I also took care of some plants and some flowers. That was very therapeutic for me too. That only lasted for a week, but it was very, very helpful for me. And anyway, back to the dog videos. So it's my way of being able to enjoy dogs. I feel like I'm their auntie, even though they're totally on the other side of the world. But I watch this, you know, family on a farm that has like 20 dogs, and they rescue dogs. And I just really admire their love and dedication to the dogs. A lot of people told me that I was way too much, and I really don't think so. And now in retrospect, I'm sure now that I was, and maybe on a couple of points I was a little excessive, but I really don't think I was too much. And when I see this family and I watch all these dogs, I really appreciate them, and I feel like they're kindred spirits, you know, far away. So it's my way of enjoying dogs and also learning about them. I've been learning a lot about breeds, you know, about dog health. Anytime there's a sick dog, it might sound morbid, but I watch those videos because I want to learn about all the things that dogs, you know, all their ailments, typical health issues, non-typical health issues, what actually causes dogs to pass away. It's something I never had closure about with Azura, so anytime my ears perk up, I want to know. I'm just that type of person. I understand most people, it's too intense for them, so I get it. But for me, it's something I have an interest in. I want to learn as much about dogs as possible. This family I'm watching, their dog the father is a dog trainer, and he is one of the best dog trainers I've ever seen. You know, I watched also documentaries about military and police force dogs, especially military dogs. The intense loyalty that they have towards their handler, it's just unfathomable. I want to do many videos on this topic about why dogs are so beautiful, why I am such a dog lover now. It didn't quite happen even halfway through Azura's life. I loved her, but I didn't really have this fascination for dogs. But now, after I lost Azura, I was like, what is going on? You know, why does it feel so painful? And of course, it's because I saw her as my daughter, but there is something that dogs do, okay? There's a special nature that dogs have, and I have a lot to say about this. I will put it in separate videos, but I had to really process this. There was so much to process after Azura passed away. And I'm a student all the time. I'm a teacher, and therefore I'm a student. I love learning. And when there's something I don't understand, I need to understand it. So this is why I created this channel. This is why I don't mind sharing all of the deepest, darkest moments, and the happy moments, and the victories, and the challenges, and the mistakes. I don't mind sharing this, because all the things I learned through my own experience and all the tough times I had, I hope that they bring some aid, assistance, comfort, you know, love, help, strength to one of you out there. And so I don't mind sharing that. But anyway, I did a lot of, you know, learning about grief, losing a dog, dog health, military dogs, how intelligent dogs are, what type of dogs there are. Something breeds I never really used to know very much about. I love learning about breeds now. I love learning about dog training. I watched a lot of dog training videos when I first got Azura, but I honestly was super disappointed with them. And it's only recently that I found like maybe 2 or 3 dog trainers that I appreciate. And even most of them are just totally, I don't think they're on the right track. But this one family I've been watching with the 20 or so dogs, I really do think he understands dogs. So anyway, I have so much to say. I'll put them in separate videos. But for now, I hope these are practical tools that will help you. Remember that, you know, even though I haven't met you, I do care about you. I know you're out there. I hope you are hanging in there. Stay strong, and don't give up. All right. And anyway, you take care. Have a great day.